March 8th, 1982, a line formed outside a funeral parlor in New York City. I stood there in the cold with hundreds of people, waiting to say goodbye to an old woman few of them had ever met. Yet most of those people would have said she changed their lives. I had been her closest friend, and she mine. But all of that ended a long time ago.
The body will be on view for the next 2 hours. In the interest of others, we ask that you keep your time before the casket brief.
In the interest of others.
Excuse me?
I don't think she would have liked that.
We need to keep moving.
The critics had called her the leader of a cult, a dangerous threat to public morality. Her name was Ayn Rand, and I loved her.
Hello. I hope we're in the right place.
Yes, she's expecting you.
Are you Mr. Rand?
I suppose I am.
Hello.
I'm actually Frank O'Connor. Please call me Frank.
This is right out of the book.
Fluff, they're here.
You are Nathaniel Blumenthal?
Yes.
And
Barbara Whiteman.
Miss Rand, I want to thank you for taking the time to see us. As you may recall from my letter, I have several specific questions regarding the philosophical and psychological implications of your novels.
tell me your principles.
To think for myself. To reach my own conclusions. To seek truth wherever it might lead.
And Barbara Whiteman, what do you have to say for yourself?
Miss Rand, I picked up The Fountainhead when I graduated high school. I read it in one night. It changed my life.
Do you see, Frank? See these two beautiful young people who have come to our house. Come in, sit.
Wow. Can you believe it? It happened. We spent the whole night talking to Ayn Rand. Yes. Oh, I feel as if my whole life I've been on a leaky raft in the middle of the ocean, and as soon as I cover one leak with my foot, there's another.
Yes,
and another.
alone and sinking.
Yes. But after tonight, I think it's possible to stand on solid ground, to understand, to really know.
Yeah, the way she looked at me, I felt she saw everything, all at once. I almost wanted to cry.
Why?
I don't know, I felt relieved and safe. I felt
We should quit school. Nothing here comes close to her. Let's quit.
Nathan.
I mean it.
I can't believe I philosophy in 3 hours.
You gonna get in trouble for being out so late?
I'll think of something.
Barbara.
Nathan.
No. I just wanted to say that this was, well, this was the first day of my life that actually mattered. And I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have shared it with. No one else would have understood. And, well, that's all.
I think you're brilliant, Nathan. You know that. No one's like you. Good night.
Good night.
Good morning. Thank you. I need to be able to show why something's right or wrong. I hate giving in when I know there's something different or better. I need to be able to prove it. It's no good otherwise, is it?
Sit here. Pretty girl. Do you make love with Nathaniel?
No.
Barbara, you must tell me. Otherwise, how can I help you with this confusion?
I love him, but I'm not in love. We don't make love. It's not about that.
You don't like to make love?
I didn't say that.
You respect his intellect?
Very much.
You share the same principles?
Absolutely.
You accept that emotion ultimately derives from the thinking one has done or has failed to do?
I do.
Then there is only one possible conclusion. Nathan is your ideal man. Your mind already knows this. Your feelings must follow that logic.
What if logic wasn't involved?
I can explain every emotion I have ever had because this is the foundation. You see? Otherwise, conflict in all other parts of your life. Do you know who you remind me of?
No.
Myself. I know what kind of injustice an intellectual young girl has to suffer. But I will see that no harm comes to you. You watch, you listen, the world seems so confusing, inconsistent. People. You want clarity, you want coherence, you want to know greatness.
Yes.
Then you must be ruthless in your search. Starting here. Promise you won't disappoint me.
I promise.
I'm not doing anything other businessmen aren't doing.
You call yourself a capitalist?
I call myself a businessman. Philosophy, I think, to you.
Here you are, just the way I like them. Let's go find mine.
These people, who are they?
Hollywood, retired Republican league.
Really?
And I'm just fooling. He owns a chain of laundromats. He makes airplane parts. You haven't met Alfred yet, but I'm sure you remember Nathaniel. And come here. I'll introduce you to...
She's trying to get them to put their money where their mouths are.
The newsletter.
Barbara, this is Phyllis.
What?
A philosophical newsletter for the common man. We discussed it.
You and her.
Mm-hmm.
Where did she find you?
I wrote her a letter and included my phone number.
She called you. Huh. You know about the book?
What book?
The new book? Do you know about it? It's going to be enormous, brilliant fountainhead. It'll look like a footnote.
What is it?
Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged.
Yeah, what's it about?
What's it about? It's, well, I don't know. I haven't read it. She hasn't finished writing it yet, but she called you. A screenwriter is an employee.
You're bought and paid for, is that what you're telling me?
Well, unlike you, I'm not in a position to make any demands. Maybe after I...
So, Alfred, on your next picture, they say, we want you to write a script about a greedy industrialist, about the nobility of failure, about little people banding together, and you do it. In spite of all I have said to you, you will do it because you're just an employee. Is that what you're telling me?
Every day I'm racked with tremendous guilt, you know that.
What?
I admit I feel guilt.
Would anybody like a nightcap?
No, I think I better go. It's long drive home.
think of Alfred?
He seems conflicted between his needs and his values.
He's weak.
Ah. Oh, terrible disappointment.
I understand there's a new book.
No, it's not a book yet.
Would it be possible to see some of it?
Why should I possibly show it to you?
Well, because I'd be your best reader and your most honest critic.
Come along.
Oh, cock-a-doodle-doo. Nobody here but us chickens.
Oh, I love you. Oh, I really love you.
I love you too.
Nathaniel Brandon, will you take Barbara Weidman here present as your lawful wife?
I will.
Barbara Weidman, will you take Nathaniel Brandon here present as your lawful husband?
I will.
You may now exchange the rings. By the power and authority vested by law, as the clerk of the state of California, I now pronounce you man and wife.
Thank you for the beautiful flowers, Frank.
So,
That's what I do best.
Mr. Brandon,
Yes. Do you like it?
a new man needs a new name, yes. So many new things, Nathan. New bride, new city, new life.
New York. We'll miss you.
You will?
Yes. It'll be like shutting off a light.
Maybe you'll find another light.
That's not possible.
No. Music was always my pleasure. When I was a child in St. Petersburg, I almost wore out the phonograph playing my tiddlywink music. It's a long way to Tipperary. Come on, get happy. A little girl dancing round and around my room. And my mother saying, why do you listen to such nonsense? Bach, Mozart, Beethoven if you must, but this, such a bright mind, Alice, and such terrible taste. But this was mine, you see. My discovery, my joy. And this they could not take away from me. The Soviets. They took away everything else. The phonograph, the house, the phonograph was in my life in that house. But not what was mine. That I would not surrender. The idea of joy. Because if I could hear it in the music, then it had to exist. Somewhere.
Would you like to dance, Ayn? miss you. It'll be like shutting off a light.
You must go to New York. You must drive your professors mad with the logic of your arguments. And you must become a brilliant psychologist. Then I will tell the world, this is the man I have chosen to carry on my work. This new man. Frank.
Fluff, look. The hyacinths. I've always had such trouble with them here in California. Looks like we'll have a bloom soon. I love the
Frank,
fragrance.
I can't work here anymore.
What do you mean?
Here in Los Angeles.
Where could you work?
New York. I need to be in New York. For myself, for Atlas Shrugged, for my work. I need the achievements of man around me, not all these palm trees and hot dog stands. No, New York. New York is where we belong.
Near Nathan and Barbara.
They'll be there, yes.
Ayn. I love this place.
Frank. Be a hero for me. Again. Not so gently. Must you always ask my permission?
I must continue growing.
Hello?
I must work to resolve my unidentified problems.
Great. No, of course not.
I must learn to respond to Nathaniel
Well, whenever's convenient.
as I should.
You sure you're not too exhausted? Great, we'll be right over. Bye-bye.
As I want.
Well, we're finally here. She wants to see us now.
What about our classes? Nathan!
Oh, after 1 hour here, I feel more stimulations than after 8 years in California. And Frank feels the same way, don't you, Guppy?
It's certainly different.
And Atlas?
Not much longer. When I'm done, they are going to want my head.
Oh, I think the left's just afraid of you.
Ha! Don't care about them. No. It's the conservatives I can't stand with their Sunday sermon mentality and their thick little skulls.
Then what are you?
Me? I'm alone. No, I am a radical for capitalism. And this is my flag. Is the marriage working?
I think we're improving. We are. And now that you're here, maybe.
Are you happy?
Well, that's a difficult question.
Nathan, you are a heroic being. To be happy is the moral purpose of your life.
Yes, I know. But Barbara, she needs someone to guide her to herself. She's aware of the problem, and I've been trying to help her.
The man must have the woman who reflects his deepest vision of himself. And in her surrender is his happiness.
And the woman?
Must worship the hero.
Is that how you feel about Frank?
Yes, of course.
Barbara?
Of course.
Why can't you show it then?
I'm trying to. I'm getting better, aren't I? I think I am. I'm just
Not in the mood.
No, I'm not. You expect so much from me. I feel I'm always being held up to some ideal.
I suppose I'm not.
What were you talking about with Ayn?
Her book, my psychology classes. I told her about David and Aaron. She actually made a joke, said that we should get together Saturday nights, call ourselves a collective.
Did you talk about me? Nathan, did you talk about
What
me?
do you want to know, Barbara?
Did you discuss our problems with someone outside our marriage?
Our problems? You mean our anxieties? Our low self-esteem? Our hating sex with our husband? What a happy fucking...
Now, Nathan and Barbara have told me that all of you agree with my concept of self-interest.
yes.
Absolutely. Could you tell us why you call it selfishness?
Yes, of course, on the premise that if this be treason, make the most of it.
It surely is treason, at least according to critics.
Let's make that coffee.
Painters should be more interested in painting architecture instead of landscapes.
Oh, no.
Can you grow hyacinths in New York?
Of course, nature is wonderful.
People seem able to do anything here.
But what can approach the exaltation of observing some of man's greatest works, the skyscrapers, for example, the railways?
You have a gift, Frank.
Yes, I agree with you. But
You should use it.
A gift for flowers and painting.
Man's creative minds.
Not much like Howard Rourke, is it?
Physical circumstances that surround us. As for me.
yes, Aaron and I had a question for you about chartered banks.
Thanks, but you've said that banks ought not to be chartered. Why not? I mean, it seems perfectly reasonable, even essential.
I am the man who does not sacrifice his love or his values. I am the man who has deprived you of victims and has thus destroyed your world. And if you wish to know why you are perishing, you who dread knowledge. I am the man who will now tell you. I am the man who will now tell you. I am the man who will not tell you. Nathan, Frank insists I take a break from work. He wants to look at bare trees and snow.
You can't give up. It's too important.
To whom?
To everyone.
I don't care about everyone.
Well, then to me.
Nathan! Come on! Give it a try!
Well, don't be absurd. Sometimes I think I'm never going to finish this book.
You can't think like that. You can't. I refuse to sit here and let one of the most important thinkers of our time pretend that... What?
Oh.
What is it?
So wonderfully
Oh,
young.
don't condescend to me,
No,
please.
dear Nathan, I am not doing that.
I know what it is to doubt myself.
But you have no reason to.
Sure I do. What have I done? What have I done? Argue with my teachers? Anyone can do that. What does that amount to compared to you?
Nathan, you're a genius. I knew this the first time I met you, and I do not pass this judgment lightly.
You're the only person who sees the best in me.
No. No, not the only. The first. Just the first to know you.
I think you know we all had a wonderful
It was
time
wonderful.
last week, and if you don't mind, ideally we'd like to make it a once-a-week event, meeting and talking.
That's a brilliant idea.
Since we all met through reading The Fountainhead, you could even call us the class of 43.
Yes. Good night.
Well, good night.
She's in love with you.
What?
And you're in love with her. Aren't you? Aren't you?
For God's sake, Barbara, you're not serious.
The gall to tell me I don't give you what you want, what you need. Why don't you just do it to her right in front of me, you goddamn...
Stop it! You don't know what you're talking about.
Don't I?
Listen, she is 25 years older than I am. I admire her, yes, I respect
I
her.
saw you.
What did you see? I talked to her, is that it? You saw her giving me support. My God, if we can't expect that from Ayn, what are we devoting ourselves to? Do you want to be that alone? Do you?
I can't think.
Of course you can think. You just can't control your emotions. Listen, honey, I am in love with you. I want to have a life with you.
I'm trying so hard, Nathan. Every day. Trying to be what you want.
I know. I know.
It's breaking me. I can't anymore.
It's all right.
I can't.
It's all right. It's all right.
Good. Do you understand what has happened?
I do.
Well, don't you want to say something about it?
I wasn't sure about, well, what the best way to handle the situation was.
Have I misunderstood everything?
No, You haven't. I love you.
Do you understand the consequences of what you're saying? Do you understand how serious this is?
I understand.
And you're not afraid?
No, I'm not.
I love you. Oh. Oh, there, I've said it. I love you. This does not change what I feel about Frank.
Of course not.
No. First, we must tell them. This is not a threat to you. Our affair will be something separate, apart from you and our normal lives. If the four of us were lesser people, we could never accept this. Lesser people could never accept it, but we are not lesser people. Our rules are different. I know your intelligence. I know you hold no value higher than reason. Reason, after all, is what drew us together. You know what I am. You know what Nathan is. By the logic of what love and sex means, this had to happen. We ask your permission. We ask that you return to us the love that we feel for you.
No. No. I will not be part of this insanity.
Frank.
Barbara, you know what you are to me. But Ayn is right. We have to work this out.
DeMille's King of Kings. The silent one. The great one. That's where we met. We were extras, standing around the back lot in togas.
I didn't know you were an actor.
Neither did anybody else in Hollywood. Alice. Alice Rosenbaum. She just fled Russia. Changed her name. Ayn. A-Y-N. Ayn Rand. She had a typewriter. A Remington Rand. Crazy about movies. Came right up to me and said, "You are the embodiment of my ideal man." I never had a chance. The ideal man. Whenever she'd say it, I felt like a fool. But I thought she loved me. I thought that was real. And if she had to see me in a certain way,
Will you leave her?
got no money, no profession. It's all hers. I'm 54. Where would I go? What would I do? I don't have a choice. You do, Barbara.
Do you think she's right?
Right.
About the logic of the two of them.
It's always logical.
More coffee? I won't be a lesser person. I can't. I can't. How long do you want?
No more than 1 year.
What are the arrangements?
Nathaniel and I will meet here one afternoon and one evening a week. Is that acceptable?
We agree.
Cubby. Are you hungry?
I'm fine.
No, don't be silly. Let me make you something.
You know you're a lousy cook, Hein.
I don't want you getting sick.
You should be working.
What I said 2 days ago, I believe to be true. Clearly, you and I know me better than I know myself. I think now I have to become more rigorous about my emotions. I still love you, Barbara. You understand that, don't you?
This is John Galt speaking. I am the man who will now tell you. You have heard it said that this is an age of moral crisis. You have said it yourself, half in fear, half in hope. You have cried, destroying the world. You have cursed human nature for its unwillingness to practice independence, unity. You have demanded more sacrifices at each successive disaster. Happiness is not to be achieved at the command of emotional whims. In the name of a return to morality, you have sacrificed all those You have sacrificed self-esteem to self-denial. You have sacrificed happiness to duty. You have sacrificed wealth to me. Why is it moral to serve the happiness of others but not your own? world is not the product of your sins, it is the product of your virtues. You have fought for it, and I am the man who has granted you your wish. Define social metaphysics.
Essentially, it's the concept of human...
Very good, David, but not now. Caroline.
It means to look to other people for a sense of my worth.
As opposed to...
My own objective reality. I don't do that.
You felt forced to agree with the professor even though you despised his politics.
Perfect.
He's the head of my department.
You told David that you despise him, and yet you're terrified he won't approve of you. You've tied your self-esteem to the opinions of other people, despite all our discussions.
He could damage my career.
And that's all you can think of?
I want to be a teacher. I want to help people.
The mask of altruism. Oh, not for me, no, I exist for others. Not for me, no. Admire me for my goodness.
That's not what I think. Nathaniel, I don't believe that. I believe... I don't know.
Let's move on to something else.
Barbara, please. You see your error, and you want to rid yourself of it?
Yes. Yes, it's too much confusion.
Nathaniel?
Well, it will take time, but I'm prepared to help.
I want to change. Whatever it takes.
Good. Barbara also is experiencing some difficulties.
Fine, please don't.
Nathaniel and I are very concerned about physical attacks she's experiencing. We feel that the real basis is emotional.
These attacks come from anxiety, the conflict between I must and I can't, between an individual's values and what she feels.
That's perfectly stated. Barbara, I have watched you with this conflict for years. I have seen you struggle with the error that causes it.
What errors?
This is emotionalism.
Can you define it, Ayn?
Yes, the belief that reality should be subservient to my desires, to a person's desires. There are two different kinds of emotionalists. Emotionalists by error and emotionalists by evasion. Well, I think we have enough for tonight. Everybody,
we are trying to help you to get to the root of things. It's never easy.
You're ruthless.
What?
You have to be in here.
Take a cab home,
Caroline,
please.
it's such an extraordinary...
You're staying.
Congratulations.
That's 3 nights this week.
It's the book. She's hit a very rough stretch. I've never seen her this tense.
Then you have to stay.
Barbara, do you think that I want to stay for 3 nights a week?
You know, we're going to talk.
No, let me call you a cab.
Thank you very much. I really...
Ron, I'm going to talk to you about this more.
Nathan, our relationship is sexual or it's nothing. If we are just disembodied minds, then everything is meaningless.
bad?
Fine. I'm so sorry.
Barbara?
I can't see. My mind's collapsing. I need to talk. Can I please come over? Now. Please. Hein, are you there?
I'm here.
Would you mind if I came over?
How dare you?
What?
Do you think only of yourself? Am I completely invisible to you? This is your problem. You call here when you know that this is our time. Your wants, your needs, your emotions, that's all you care about. This is loathsome. Must you be so weak? I have never asked anyone for help. Do you have no sense of self? No, don't dream of coming here.
You all right in there?
I need to talk.
Who the hell are you?
I don't think she could have made it home by herself.
She's never been this bad before.
You know about this?
No, it's a chronic condition.
Something being done?
I'm treating her.
How?
I'm a psychologist. Are you in the medical profession?
No, I'm a musician. Trumpeter.
Well, thanks so much for your help.
Richard Folger. I'm in the book.
Well, I doubt we'll be needing any trumpet lessons, but if we do...
You never know.
I've not been this unhappy since I was a child. Then I used to look out the window and calm down by staring at the stars.
Go on.
Everything's gone. I know I still care what other people think. I know I am guilty of social metaphysics. And I know my wish to correct my thinking comes from a desire to please Nathan, who I respect tremendously. And I know that that desire is very, 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 very wrong. I don't know what I want anymore. I'm afraid to care about anything. Nothing seems to matter. And I'm afraid of the day it will.
Caroline. The purpose of these talks is not to well, I don't mean to make you feel this way.
I do admire you. I can't help it.
Oh, I thought you'd be done.
Hi, we are for today.
Hi, Caroline. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Here for dinner?
You want some coffee?
No, thank you.
In that case, I'm off to the movies.
Enjoy yourself. Hi.
Frank, don't go yet.
What's wrong?
I finished the book. After 12 years. I finished the book.
Well. My goodness. Congratulations, Fluff. Long time coming.
That little couple.
If the two of us can't afford a decent dinner on a $50,000 advance for the book, we need to have our heads examined. Here. Thinking about the book, what it meant to me, to us. So I did that.
Frank, it's perfect. It's perfect. This is going to be the cover of the book. You do understand me, don't you, Cubby?
Madame, Monsieur, welcome. Monsieur O'Connor, we have the private room ready. This way, please.
Cubby, what wickedness are you planning?
Well, well, Fluff, you'll just have to wait and see what I've planned for you tonight.
Congratulations, Hein.
Hein, this is from all of us. Atlas shrugged.
Congratulations.
Wonderful.
I do not like surprises.
She said, as usual, Frank is the power behind the throne. Sometimes I think I am the throne the way I get sat on.
Frank.
Roosevelt had a permanent halo around him, you know, a savior for the working class. They can't even be sure how the government got into these people's lives in the first place.
She's a command to rise.
I wish Nathaniel would give us some privacy. I mean, it doesn't make sense. He's constantly urging you to bare your soul so he can help you psychologically. I would like to get on with life instead of essentially gazing at my
studies,
neighbor.
but as far as travel is concerned, I think the place I'd most like to go would be... Oh, the Far East first, of course. I hear it's absolutely beautiful. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't.
No? Oh, well, there are plenty of other places I would love.
Not yet, but I'm planning to see it next week.
A completely corrupt film, totally based on this unexplained Christian guilt-based ethic.
So you wouldn't recommend it?
Oh, I enjoyed it on the plot level. Have you seen Sinar?
You're not reading correctly. If you read exactly what is written, then you will find
7 years ago, I had the great fortune to meet an individual that I did not think could actually exist. Not as I imagined her. That meeting proved how much I had to learn. I could not have asked for a better teacher. 2 heroes. In fiction and in life. Heroes. Please.
Speech.
Speech.
Well, I suppose I'm expected to say something significant.
Always.
This book took 12 years to write, and it challenges the cultural traditions of 2,000 years, so I don't expect anyone to be grateful.
You're wrong, Ayn. It's going to change America's way of thinking.
No, I will have an influence one day. But not, I think, in my lifetime. However, I have had the fortune to know heroes and heroines in my life. My husband, Frank. My good friend, Barbara. And my intellectual heir, Nathaniel Brandon. Thank you. Oh, and thank you very much for this lovely party, but please don't do it again. I hate parties. As I was saying, I think you find you're not reading correct. Every sentence of my books, there is something to find.
Is everything all right, sir? You bet. Some more cognac would be perfect. Right away, sir.
Frank. Frank. Are you all right?
I must be making a phone call. Which is odd, because I don't know anybody.
Let's get some air. Frank, I'm sorry for all this.
I am too, Nathan. I'm really very sorry for you.
I do not exist for other people. I must not rely on other people. I must identify the origins of my emotions. I must establish a rational. I can't. I'm sorry.
Can't what?
I can't stop thinking about you. I tried. I can't. What's the rational basis of sex?
I don't know.
Something you don't know?
More than you realize.
What if she finds out?
Who? I don't know that either.
Hello?
I have another philosophic question.
Richard.
You recognize my voice?
I do by now.
Well, that's a good sign. Medically speaking.
What's the question?
Peripatetic.
It's Greek. It means to walk around. Aristotle founded the peripatetic school. He walked around Athens discussing rhetoric, ethics, the nature of reality.
Uh-huh. So would that fly in Manhattan? Tell me again, that's...
The basic principle is that existence exists. That the world is not an abstraction. That an individual's own happiness is a
She fled communist Russia in 1926, blew up housing for the poor in 1943 in a novel. And now she's telling us what's wrong with America in 1957. And a lot of people are saying something's wrong with her. Ayn Rand. Atlas Shrugged. A big book. A big theme. What's it about?
Simply put, the mind on strike.
Whose mind?
The minds that matter. Scientists, inventors, artists, industrialists, the motors that run the world. I show what happens when that motor stops.
And what's that?
Chaos, both spiritual and physical.
Is that a surprise?
It is to a world that enslaves them.
Enslaves industrialists. How?
By a morality that requires a man's efforts benefit everyone but himself.
You've been called a fascist.
I abhor fascism. I abhor the use of force.
What do you love?
Reason. Heroism. The luminous potential of man.
Execrable claptrap.
I beg your pardon.
The reviews. Outpouring of hate, longer than life and twice as preposterous, crack-brained, they go on and on. Applauds the destruction of the weak to the advantage of the strong. Rand is arguing for a dictatorship.
I am fighting a dictatorship. A dictatorship of self-sacrifice, of collectivism, of cowardice.
You seem to have a lot of enemies.
In the world the way it is today, that is a compliment.
"12 years, Frank. I'll never be able to. Never again. I don't have it in me. I gave my life to this work. And I achieved something new. I achieved it. And so books are printed and critics tell their lies. And no one speaks out to defend me. No one. No one, not to even say I exist. It's as if I was invisible.
Nathaniel's here now.
Sorry I'm late. My session ran over. How do you feel today?
Oh, my back, my shoulders, miserable.
Come here.
When did we last make love, Nathan?
Would you like to now? Got another delivery of fan mail. It's like over 2,000 letters this week. Been thinking about how we can capitalize on it, and I'd like to try something if it's all right with you. Now, you wouldn't have to do a thing, just give me your blessing. We do not grant to anyone, the state, the collective, an elite, the masses, the needy, the successful, the whole population of the earth, ownership over our
the assignment
lives.
to solve a certain
We owe
problem,
but one thing to our
you
fellow
probably
man.
would find they try to do so in vastly different ways.
Our lives belong to us, to each man and each woman individually, to be lived
may lead to total
as
dead
reasonable
ends.
in the service of our own happiness.
I'll take questions now, unless...
Mrs. Brandon, I enjoyed your lecture so much, I think I'll join you.
Excuse me, Miss Rand. I was wondering if you could give us the essence of your philosophy, standing on one leg.
Sit down. Be serious.
Metaphysics, objective reality. Epistemology, reason. Ethics, self-interest. Politics, capitalism.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Miss Rand.
thank you very much. Thank you.
I just wanted to tell you that was a fascinating lecture. Thank you. I was wondering if you could tell me what happens when a person doesn't speak English. If they're discussing matters I love, let's say, how do they know what the other is saying if they don't actually speak English? How can they communicate? What do they do then? And I thank you. If we can find out if the solver.
My apartment.
Thank you.
My bookcase. My closet. My lamp. My television. My fireplace. My record player.
Can you dance to this?
Unless you're Amish. This is, it's very peripatetic.
I can't stay.
It's all right.
Spoke to the publisher today. They're starting their 4th printing. Book is flying off the shelves. Never seen anything like it, especially after those reviews.
You told Ayn?
She won't listen. She keeps saying we're in the last days of the Roman Empire. Listen to this one. Dear Miss Rand, last night I finished your book. This morning I announced my resignation from rabbinical college.
I want to discuss something.
Uh-huh.
You once asked my permission to change a relationship. I gave it. I accepted that it was necessary, maybe inevitable. Now, I'd like you to do the same for me.
With who?
Richard Folger.
You're joking.
No.
The notion's absurd.
I didn't ask your opinion, I asked your consent.
My consent? It's ridiculous. Why bother?
Because if anything's left between us, I hoped it might be honesty.
Well, then, honestly, let's re-examine your perpetual need to degrade yourself and me. Do you ever think about that?
More than you know.
Oh, I see. I see. It's my fault you have no responsibility. Barbara, can't you see you're still retreating? If we were discussing someone even close to an intellectual equal...
Like Caroline. Is she smarter with her clothes off?
And now we add paranoia to our repertoire.
You're attracted to her, aren't you?
I am teaching her. Barbara, I know we're all in a difficult situation. I can't stop you from doing what you want to do. But I can't give my consent. Not to something that mocks everything we've devoted ourselves to. Did you say anything about Caroline to Ayn?
That was a good meal. A little spicy meal. You gonna come up? You know, Barbara, I thought, I don't know. We could be happy together. It's not that hard. But you don't think that matters, huh?
It matters.
Then why are we doing this? You know those books? I like them. They're good stories. And it'd be nice to know you're a genius. You didn't know anything to anybody. You'd always explain yourself to yourself, always be right, but life's not like that.
It could be.
I hope it is. For you.
Good night.
It's about time we told her.
I can't jeopardize the Institute right now. It's mine. My name. Can't imagine how Ayn would take it. She brought Barbara and I together. We're a kind of living proof of her work. She can be very easily upset.
What am I to you, Nathan?
No, I would say you're my worst student.
You ashamed of me?
You're about the only thing that I'm not ashamed of.
I love you. I just wish we could tell her.
I know. I wish we could too.
In 1951, I swore I would never again return to Los Angeles. I considered it a swamp of moral equivocation and of mindlessness. Happily, there has been some kind of progress in the last 13 years. But not in other places. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So said our late president. But that sentiment was popular in another country at another time. Nazi Germany, 1933. The demand is the same, whether it is called the Third Reich or the New Frontier. The individual must sacrifice himself to the state.
Jack Kennedy was not Adolf Hitler.
You don't care if the poor starve.
Tell them that free enterprise creates jobs. It's statism that starves everyone.
That is not true. There's got to be somebody that...
You're preaching selfishness. That's all it is.
This country took you in and gave you refuge. Don't you feel you owe it anything?
Yes, of course I do. And I have given it. I have given it everything I have. My work, my books, my life.
So did Karl Marx.
What he did for communism, I do for capitalism.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
In America. Good. Now we are beginning a discussion. So, more discussion.
You see the audiences you're capable of drawing?
Maybe they think I'm Dietrich.
There's an enormous number of people out there who are interested in hearing your ideas, despite what the press says. These people are looking for some direction. If we can marshal them somehow. What?
To be back in California after so much time with Nathaniel. And still, he is so young.
Not that young anymore. Waiter? I'll be right with you. Oh, I wanted to discuss the possibility of the Institute printing some of your early stories. I'm starting a publishing division.
So much business.
Well, yes. I don't want to lose an opportunity. Not when people's minds are
I've
finally...
missed you.
I haven't gone anywhere.
I wonder. I feel as if I'm waking up from a long sleep. I don't think things are the same between us.
I think about you every day.
As a colleague?
No.
As a teacher? An old woman? I think of us in bed together. I think of making love with you.
Ayn, please understand. I feel about you the way I always have.
What is the problem?
Barbara. I thought she could change, but the marriage is falling apart, and it's draining everything out of me.
And you don't tell me this?
And what a burden.
Nathan, I love you. I want to help you in your trouble. Help you to free yourself.
I don't think that's possible.
Of course it is possible. Just don't hide from me.
Miss Rand? I'm just getting off shift. I'm so sorry to bother you. I have to tell you, your books changed my life. I was wondering if you could sign.
You have pen?
Here.
Thank you.
Could we order?
Nathan, no matter what happens, I give no one the power to hurt me.
No, today, actually. Sorry. Janet, can you send out those menus?
No, I'll get right on it.
This has to be on today.
Yes, the Ayn Rand Institute. Yes. No, this is the Brandon Institute. No, sir, this is not a farm-style dancing school. No, I'm sorry, I don't even know what. Thanks. Bye. Okay. Hello, UCLA? This is Caroline Kelly. I'm calling on behalf of the Nathaniel Brandon Institute. You'd expressed interest in a series of lectures. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's wonderful. So, when do you think you'd like to have him come and lecture for you?
How long have you been sleeping with her?
A long time.
And you tell me now.
I'm sick of hearing myself lie.
You called Richard an unacceptable compromise of my principles. What are your principles, Nathan? Do you have any?
What do you want to do?
Find another apartment. Contact a lawyer. Get a divorce. Why did we marry, Nathan? Do you remember?
A vision of something heroic.
Wouldn't that have been nice?
Hello, Barbara. Come on in. She's in her office there.
I had your word you would publish whatever I chose to write.
It's Icarus.
They're not the
You
only
can
ones
see the
who
wings here. And he's just plunged straight through
Then you will not publish
the
my
light.
novel. You will never again publish a single
The
word
light.
where I-
The yellow light.
The sun.
Yeah. But it's okay. He's all right. You see, he's come through all right.
Barbara!
And he's
Oh,
gonna be
Barbara,
okay.
thank goodness you called. You are the only sane person I can talk to. It's Nathan. I don't understand him anymore. He's being so difficult. I mean, he says he can't live without me, but then the next day I don't know. You think because he doesn't break it off with me, he still loves me? Is that possible?
Can we go and talk privately?
Suppose a man who passionately loves his wife and is spending a fortune to cure her of dangerous illness is asked to let her die in order to spend that money to save 10 other women. That would be a selfless sacrifice, and that's the clearest difference between objectivism and altruism.
Miss Rand would like to see him immediately.
Excuse me.
No, not in my living room. Sit there.
Do you understand what you've done? Do you know what you've thrown away? Me. Without me, you're nothing! Nothing! It was my life, my work, my mind. And you rejected me. The woman you said you couldn't live without, your highest value, you said. I gave you my love. I gave you my name. I offered you the world.
I'm sorry. But I love her.
You rotten hypocrite! You lying, corrupt mediocrity! You should have loved me! God damn you! God damn you! God damn you! Get out!
Goodbye, Anne.
I'm very tired.
Ayn.
No, I'll decide later.
Do you need me?
Don't need anyone.
I've taken actions that I know to be wrong. I have failed to practice the principles that I teach. Ayn Rand gave me free use of her work and her name, and I have defaulted on that trust. My relationship with Ms. Rand has been severed, as is her moral right.
What does he mean? What's he talking about?
I have no idea what's going on.
This break should in no way affect your support of objectivism. A philosophy should not be judged by the behavior of its teachers. I hereby resign from the Institute and all its operations.
What on earth is he saying?
Is he for real? Is he for real? Nathan, stop. What the hell is going on?
sorry.
I've gone over the figures with the accountant. The Institute can function without Nathan's participation. We've drawn up a 3-year plan.
I don't want to see it.
Ayn, for the Institute to continue, we have to find a way to...
Nothing with that hypocrite's name will be allowed to exist. He will be stripped of everything he has taken. He will be exposed and humiliated. Then let him wander the world as the nonentity he is.
He's writing a book. An objectivist perspective on psychology.
A plagiarism of me, isn't it?
New American Library wants it.
He will never be published. I will break his contract. He will vanish. Thief, bastard, spineless,
Stop it!
crawling,
Stop it!
second-hander.
You can't go on like this. He's lost his friends. He's lost his work. It's punishment enough, Ayn.
Do you know what you're saying?
I'm asking you to show compassion.
Why?
It's what humans do. Frank! Tell them, please.
Barbara, I don't understand a word of it. Never did. Barbara.
You are falling into error.
No.
And you have passed into corruption.
It isn't right to destroy him. You know that. You all do.
And so, you disappoint me.
Yes. Yes. Goodbye, Ayn.
Miss Rand will now be happy to answer some brief questions.
Yes.
Are you the head of a cult?
Young lady, I have devoted my life to the cause of individualism. Now, common sense tells you you cannot have a cult of individuals. Do you have common sense?
What's your favorite TV show?
Charlie's Angels. I love those girls.
Do you like President Reagan?
Oh, yes, I like him very much in King's Row, but not in the White House.
What is the nature of love? What is the nature of love?
Yes, young man, yes, I have thought about this. Love
is a command to rise to one's highest potential, the best and noblest vision of ourselves. Love is a reward, the greatest we can earn, granted to us for the moral qualities we have achieved in our lives.
You all right?
Let's go.
Love is something you give. Love's not something you keep. It's a maze, a haze, complicated and sweet. Never know when it is, but you know when it's not. Over time, define, realize what you've got. Love's elusive feeling is the greatest reward. Can't be seen, but its touch you can't ignore. Love is something you know, but you don't understand. Love is fundamental, dangerous and gentle. Love is not what we choose. Love is what we do. Love is what we do. Is fundamental, dangerous and gentle. Love is not
what we choose. Love is what